Welcome students. In this video session, I am going to discuss about the construction of SLR parsing table. In my previous video, I discussed about canonical LR0 collection construction. As a continuation with that, I am going to discuss about SLR parsing table construction in this video. To have a recap about the purpose of these operations are, if you want to implement simple LR parser, we have to go with three steps. The first step is to construct canonical LR0 collection, and second step is to construct the SLR parsing table, and with that only we can go with SLR parsing. So let us proceed with the construction of SLR parsing table. Now in this table, the item sets whatever we have identified in canonical LR0 collection should be represented as a state. I have taken the same example which I have used for discussing the canonical LR0 collection. So in the canonical LR0 collection, we had 11 item sets. We started from I0 till we got I11. So we got 12 states, right? So those states are represented in rows. Okay, so those item sets are considered as a state and it is been represented as rows. And we have two section of columns. One is action column, other one is go to column. So under action column, we will be including all the terminals. So in our grammar, we have terminals like plus, star, open bracket, closed bracket, ID, dollar. Okay, so those terminals are included under action, and the non-terminals whatever we have in the grammar is being included under go to. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are just going to fill this parsing table. First we will be filling with shift operations, then we will be filling with reduce operations. Okay, so let us proceed further. First we want to consider the state 0. So as I said earlier, each state is referring to an item set in the canonical LR0 collection. So state 0, we have to refer I0. So in this, we have to look for the production in which dot is followed by a terminal. So if you just look at the first production, the dot is followed by a non-terminal. Here also non-terminal, non-terminal, non-terminal. Here also non-terminal. But when you look this production, F tends to dot open bracket E closed bracket. Here dot is followed by a terminal. So what we have to do is, for state 0 and for the terminal open bracket, we have to place an entry. Now what we are going to place what entry we are going to place? We are just going to place an shift operation. Okay, so what shift operation we are going to place? It is based on the result of go to of I0 comma open bracket. Go to of I0 comma open bracket. What is the result of go to of I0 comma open bracket? It is I4. So here in the 0th state and open bracket, we have to place S4. We have to place S4. Similarly, we have one more production in which dot is followed by a terminal. So what we have to do? What we have to do? So in the 0th state and ID column, we have to place a shift operation. So what shift operation we are going to place? Whatever result we will be getting for go to of I0 comma ID. What is the result of go to of I0 comma ID? It is I5. So here we are applying yes shift 5 operation. Okay, shift 5 operation. So let us proceed further. If you take item set 1, here in this production rule, the dot is not followed by a terminal, whereas here it is followed by a terminal. So what we have to do? In first state, that is state 1, and that too plus field or plus column. Okay, so here 0, that is first state, then plus column. So here we have to apply the shift operation. So what shift operation we're going to apply? Go to of I1 comma plus. So what is the result of go to of I1 comma plus? It is I6. So here we have to place S6. Here you have to place S6. Then you don't have any other operations here, right? So next we can go for state 2. So item set 2 dot followed by nothing. So here the second production rule, dot followed by star. So dot followed by star, that is a dot followed by a terminal, right? So what you have to do in state 2 and star column, you have to apply the shift operation. Okay, so yes followed by which state? That for computing that you have to go for go to of I2 comma star. So go to of I2 comma star is 7. So here you have to go with S7. Hope people can understand the point, right? Then let us proceed further. You don't have any other operation here. And for I3, you don't have any production in which dot is followed by a terminal. So you cannot go with any shift operation for this third row. Then I4, let us go with I4. So for I4, let us look for the production in which dot is followed by a terminal. So here it is dot followed by a non-terminal, dot followed by a non-terminal, dot followed by non-terminal. So all these productions in which dot is followed by a non-terminal. So here it is F tends to dot open bracket. I have missed to place dot here, but actually here you have dot. So dot followed by open bracket. So in state 4 and open bracket column, okay, so here you have to apply the shift operation. So what operation you're going to apply? Go to of I4 comma open bracket. Go to of I4 comma open bracket, what it is? I4. Okay, so here you have to go with S4. Here you have to go with S4. Then again what you have to do, you have to look for other productions. So here you have dot followed by and terminal. Okay, so for state 4 and for ID column, you have to apply shift operation. So what operation you are going to apply? Shift operation. Okay, right? So what type of shift you are going to apply? So go to of I4 comma ID. So what is the result of go to of I4 comma ID? It is I5, right? That's why you are applying S5. Okay, so similarly for state 5, there is no possibility of applying the shift operation because the dot is not followed by a terminal. What about I6? Even I6, here dot followed by a non-terminal, dot followed by a non-terminal, dot followed by a non-terminal. But whereas if you see here, it is dot followed by open bracket, right? So you have to go with shift operation, that is state 6 and for open bracket shift operation. What shift operation you're going to apply? Go to of I6 comma open bracket. Go to of I6 comma open bracket is I4. So that's why it is S4 here. Similarly, here also you have dot followed by ID. So for 6th state and for ID column, you will be applying shift operation. So what operation going to apply? Go to of I6 comma ID. So go to of I6 comma ID. What will result? It will be S5. Right. Similarly for 7th state also. So here also it is dot followed by a non-terminal. So you cannot apply the shift operation. Here dot followed by open bracket. Okay, so dot followed by open bracket. So state 7 open bracket column shift operation. So what operation? It is S4 because the same reason. Okay, so go to of I7 comma open bracket. Go to of I7 comma open bracket is I4. That's why it is S4 here. Okay, then go to of I7 comma ID. It is S5. Okay, right? Here I mistakenly included as I7, but actually it is I5. Okay, because already we have given the name like this. It is I5 actually. It's not I7, it is I5. Okay, So let us proceed further. So till state 7 we have implemented it. So what about state 8? So for state 8 it is dot followed by closed bracket. So for 8 and closed bracket you have to apply the shift operation. So what operation going to apply? Go to of I8 comma closed bracket. So I8 I8 comma closed bracket is I11. So you have to apply S11. Okay, so in this field it is S11. Then you have a dot followed by plus. Okay, so for 8 state and for plus column it is shift operation, that is S6, because go to of I8 comma plus you will be getting the result as I6. That's why here it is been included as S6. So similarly we will be filling for other states also. So I9, so for I9 for this production you cannot apply because the dot is not followed by a terminal. So here in the second production it is dot followed by a terminal. So you can apply shift operation for 9th state and star column. So 9th state star column it is shift operation. So what operation it is? Go to of I9 comma star. So go to of I9 comma star is I7. That's why it is S7 here. Right. So like this we have to apply it. Okay. So for other states it is not possible. So only for these states you can apply the shift operation. Right. Now let us before going for the reduce operation, let us fill the go to operations. So if in a particular state or in a particular item set, if the dot is followed by a terminal, okay, so then we have applied the shift operation. Suppose if it is being followed by a non-terminal, then you have to go with go to operation. Okay, let me make it clear. Now for item set I0, it is E tends to dot E. So dot followed by a non-terminal. So what you have to do is for 0th state and for non-terminal E, you have to apply the go to operation. Okay, so what go to operation you're going to apply is go to of I0 comma E. So what is go to of I0 comma E? It is I1, right? So here you have to fill it as 1. Even if you're not clear, just look for the next two cases, then it will be very clear for you. So the next thing is for this production we have processed it. What about this production? It is dot followed by a non-terminal. So for 0th state and terminal T, you have to fill something. What you have to fill? Go to of I0 comma T. So what is go to of I0 comma T? It is I2. So here you have to give it as 2. It is not shift operation, it is just go to operation. Then similarly you have T already we processed, we have F. So I0 comma F. So I0 comma F, you're getting I3, so you can mention it as 3. Okay. Similarly, you have to look for item set 1, item set 2, and so on. So let us look for item set 1. So it is E dash tends to E plus or E dot. Here the dot is not followed by a non-terminal, so we can ignore it. Even in the second production also, the dot is followed by a terminal. Only if the dot is followed by a non-terminal, you can go with go to operation. So for item set 1 or for the state 1, the go to operation is not applicable. So let us go with item set 2. So here dot is followed by nothing. In second production, dot is followed by a terminal. So here also it is not applicable. The next one I3, here also it is not applicable. I4, here dot is followed by E. Okay, so for state 4 and for E, you can apply the go to operation. Okay, so what go to operation you're going to apply? Go to of I4 comma E. So what is go to of I4 comma E? It is 8, right? I8. So you have to fill with 8. Here you have to fill with 8. Similarly, The next one is T you have, right? So for state 4 and for T, you have to fill something. What you have to fill? Go to of I4 comma T. So what is go to of I4 comma T? It is I2. That is why it is 2 here. Then go to of F. What is go to of F? Go to of I4 comma F. It is 3. Okay, that is why it is being mentioned 3 here. Okay, so hope it is clear for you, right? Similarly, we have to proceed further. Next, I5. For I5, we don't have any production where the dot is followed by a non-terminal, so we can ignore it. I6. So in I6, you have a production, a dot followed by a non-terminal. So for state 6 and for T, you have to fill something. Okay, so what you have to fill? Go to of I6 comma A T. Go to of I6 comma T. So what is go to of I6 comma T? It is I4. Not I4. I6 comma T is I9. So you have to fill 9 here. Similarly, go to you have one more production, that is dot F. So go to of I6 comma F. I6 comma F is I3. That's why for 6th state and for F non-terminal you have given 3. Okay, right? So is there any other possibility here? No, we don't have any possibility. What about I7? In I7 we have dot followed by a non-terminal F. So for I7, state 7 and for F, you have to fill something. What you have to fill? Go to of I7 comma F. So go to of I7 comma F is I10. So you have to fill 10 here. Okay. So there is no other possibilities. Then I8, even I8 there is no possibility because the dot is not followed by a non-terminal. Okay. So similarly, you have to try to fill this. In our case, in this example, for no other states, you can fill this because in no other states, you're not getting the possibility of getting a dot followed by a non-terminal. Okay, fine. Now let us try to fill the reduce operation. So far we have filled the shift operation. Now we are going to fill the reduce operations. So for filling the reduce operations, what we have to do is we have to look for the production which ends with dot. We have to look for the production rule which ends with dot symbol. Now let us check I0. In I0, you don't in no production rule you have dot at the end. Then what about I1? In I1 you have dot at the end. In one production rule you have dot at the end. So you have to apply reduction operation for this. Now when we apply reduction operation, we have to consider whether that production is the production what we have added. In our previous video, we have learned that to make our grammar as an augmented grammar, we introduced a new production. That is a new non-terminal symbol tending leads to the starting symbol. So this production rule is the production rule which we added. So this production rule, what we have added, has an exception. If the dot symbol is ending in that production rule, whichever we have added, then in that state we can add accepted. So what I am trying to tell is, in the state 1 and the 2 in dollar column, we can add accept if we have the production E dash tends to E dot. I'm once again telling this E dash tends to E is the production rule which we have added. It is not being given in the grammar. To convert the grammar to an augmented grammar, we have added this production. For this production alone, we have an exception. But for other productions, we have to go with reduction operation. We have to go with reduce operation, right? So let us proceed further. So for I1, we don't have any other production. So let us go to I2. So in I2, we have E tends to T dot. So dot is ending here. So what you have to do is this production rule. Okay, for this state I2, we have to apply the reduce operation. So where we are going to apply the reduce operation? So we have to apply the reduce operation for follow of E. In whichever production rule we have dot at the end. The left hand side of the production rule, what we have? E, right? So we have to compute follow of E. So for all the symbols in the follow of E, you have to add the rule, or we have to apply the reduce operation. E tends to T. Okay, I'll make the point very clear. We have got a production in which it is ending with dot in item set I2. So it refers to item set I2 refers to the state 2. So in state 2, we have to apply the reduce operation. Okay, so we have to apply the reduce operation. So for applying the reduce operation, what we have to do is we have to compute the follow of E, the left hand side non-terminal, right? So we have to compute follow of E. So follow of E is nothing but dollar plus open bracket. So in state 2, for dollars, for plus and for open bracket, we have to apply the reduce operation. When we say reduce operation, we have to also tell by using which production we are going to apply the reduce operation. Okay, by applying this production only, E tends to T only, we are going to apply the reduce operation. So we can just give some numbering for the productions. So let this production be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so E tends to T. Okay, so it is second production, right? So we can reduce by 2, R2. Okay, I am repeating this point once again, students. See, we have got a production like E tends to T dot. So we have a production in which dot is at the end. So what we have to do is we have to apply the reduce operation for the state 2. So in which columns we have to add the reduce operation is we have to compute the follow of E. So when we compute follow of E, it is nothing but dollar plus and open bracket. So in dollar and plus and open bracket, we have to apply the reduce operation. So R2 refers to we are reducing by using the production rule E tends to T. Okay, for every production we have given numbering. Okay, this is first production, second production, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. I have excluded the first one because it is the production rule which we have added. Okay, so in the given grammar, so this is the first production, second production, third, fourth, 5, 6. So I just given the number. So this is the one, right? E tends to T. E tends to T. So you can just mention it as R2. Okay, so let us proceed further. What about I3, that is state 3? Yes, we have dot at the end. So what we have to do? So we have to, in state 3, we have to apply the reduce operation. So in which column you have to add the reduce operation? We have to compute follow of T. So what is follow of T? Dollar plus open bracket star. So in these 4 columns, we have to add the reduce operation, right? So you are going to reduce by using T tends to F. So T tends to F is 4th production, right? So you can just mention R4 in dollar column, plus column, open bracket column, closed bracket column and dollar column, right? Star column, right? So like this we can just apply. Then we can just go for I4. In I4 you don't have any productions in which dot is at the end. What about I5? In I5 you have F tends to ID dot. Okay, so in 5th state we can apply the reduce operation. We can fill the reduce operations. F tends to ID So where we have to apply follow of f. What is follow of f? Dollar plus close to bracket, then star. Okay, so in these four fields, you can just apply the reduce operation. So which operation you're going to apply? You're going to use the sixth production, right? So that is R6. So you have applied R6. Okay. So similarly, you can also proceed for the other states also. Okay. So for I6, you don't have any possibility of getting reduce operation. Even for I7 also. For I8 also there is no possibility because you don't have any production in which dot is at the end. Then in I9 we have dot symbol at the end, right? So we have to apply the reduce operation for the state 9. Okay, so E tends to E plus T. Okay, so we have to apply the reduce operation for follow of E. So follow of E is dollar plus open bracket. So in those fields we are applying. So you are going to reduce by using the production E tends to E plus T. So for E tends to E plus T, we have given the numbering as 1. That is why it is R1. And similarly for state 10 and for state 11, the reduce operation has been applied because the dot is at the end. So like this only, we have to construct the SLR parsing table. In our next video, we are going to discuss about SLR parsing. Thank you, students.